starting in the 20, Peter McKenna.
He's the stiffest bloke of all time, Rodney Eade, to not be in that senior side, because he played a very, very good game last week. As we see the ball going up to Buckenara. Over the back is Curly Austin. Bit of experience in those two names, as we see Des English on the left foot bring it towards the half-back line. Over the head of Marcoux it goes. On that half-forward line, right in front of the Melbourne members stand, as players pounce in on top of the ball. David Howlett is the umpire with Peter Carey today, and it's David Howlett will bounce it.
Let's get the view of a former Hawthorn champion himself on that selection, Don Scott, David O'Halloran and Michael Tuck.
Well, O'Halloran can only play up back. Tuck, well, he can play anywhere, but I think it just leaves Hawthorn a little bit underdone as far as height on the forward line. I would have gone for Knights, although he didn't play well, just for a little bit of height, and that's the difference between the sides.
Well, I think they've probably played O'Halloran because of the strength of that Essendon forward line and the tall timber, Van der Haar and Merritt and all them, and at least O'Halloran does play pretty close and puts pressure on, and I think that's probably why he's been played. There's Sullivan getting it out to Whitman. Chris Whitman onto the left foot, brings it back towards the pocket. Was that in the back? No, said the umpire. Peter Knights couldn't get to it. Now here's James Bennett. Over to Buckenara. Buckenara on the right foot. Hooks it back, but puts it through for the first score of the game behind to Hawthorn. I notice they got black armbands on. Have you got any idea what they're for?
No, well, Peter Donegan's going to be joining us down on the boundary line. I'm sure that we'll be able to receive the information from him throughout the day. But let's get back to the business here in the Army Reserve Cup. And Curly Austin to bring the ball back into play for the Blues. Hartney up before acceptances. Good to see Big Wow Jones back in the side. That was Perovic went down with Hartney. Gagan sees it over the line and another throw-in.
Well, it'll be difficult for Rodney Eade to really gear himself up. He'd be a very disappointed boy to be out of that senior side.
Surprised at that?
Oh, very surprised. He was a very good... He got votes from a lot of people last week against Footscray, as a matter of fact. And I think it's a surprise. I thought it was a certainty to be on the bench, but still, they've got the tough job, the Hawthorn selectors and the Essendon selectors, and they have to come to decisions. And every year in finals, you get disappointed players.
Yep, here's the throw-in once again. Deere trying to push it over the back. Robertson claimed. Gagan a hurried kick up towards the wing. Millen Hanna at the back tries to tap it over. An opportunity for Hawthorn went bagging through. Robertson couldn't take it. Pushed forward by Winton. Out wide towards the wing. Flintoff under pressure and taken over the line by Scott Howe. So another throw-in to take place. As Peter and Jack mentioned in the under-19s, very good conditions here at the MCG. If you're making your way down, I'd probably be inclined to put a jumper and coat in the bag. I doubt whether we'd get any rain, but who knows. It's cool, it's overcast, but great for football. As Jones, Carlton's first attack down towards the half-forward line. Fisted over the top by Eade, waiting down Malaxos, couldn't take it, picked up by Marquezani, gets ripped off the football and dropped it and lost it.
Good umpiring, as Glenn Howard did. He's got the big job down there on Warren Ralph today with David O'Halloran obviously playing in the senior side. As we see Howard bring it towards centre wing. James Bennett drops what he should have taken. It's in the centre area. Considine grabs it. I'm really looking forward to a terrific game between these two sides. Austin is playing on Peter Knights today. There's a Buckenara. He'll be a danger. Now, what was the umpire's paying advantage here is it's brought right up there towards the half-back line by Peter Kenny. It's grabbed by Bennett. James Bennett towards half-forward. As you would imagine in a final game, a lot of scrambly play at the moment. There's Buckenara, nearly hooked it in. Now it's Malaxos. Curran, short pass to Knights. And Peter Knights is right out at centre half-forward. He's discarded that long-sleeve Guernsey that he has been wearing the last couple of weeks now. Probably too far out to score a goal, but should be able to put it up in the goal square as he goes from the top. Doesn't quite get onto it. Nearly a mark to Hawthorn. Taken by Marcoux. Kicked up the ground there by Buckenara. Players charging after it. I think you'd agree, Don, a scrambly passage you've played so far.
It's a typical grand final start, Peter, and players on both sides are making mistakes, and that's real pressure football, and this is really good football at the moment.
Once again, Don Scott presenting the $100 to the player he considers the best on the ground. The hurried kick for Carlton came from Peter Kenny. But there's a long shot in towards goal. I think it's the first one of the day. It is to the Hawks, Chris Whitman, and they're on the scoreboard. 1-1. Hawks holding a 7-point lead after the centre bounce, a scrimmage, still basically in the middle, and so another ball up. Well, Peter McKenna has covered himself in glory as far as selection goes in recent weeks. Pete, who are you tipping?
Well, it's I think you'd have to tip Carlton, but gee, Hawthorn, they've started off all right. They look pretty fair income early in the game. They're both two very good sides, but I think I'll pick Carlton.
Don?
Hawthorn.
Well, the Hawks going into their half-forward line once again. Wow, Jones picks it up, but the whistle has sounded and the free kick will go the way of Hawthorn. So here's another opportunity for them to go down towards full forward through David Sullivan. There's the kick. Buckenara got up high, but used his opposition as a step ladder, and the free kick will go the way of Kenny.
Had he have taken that mark, I wonder whether the umpire would have deemed it a free kick.
It's an interesting one, those. Nevertheless, English gets a hurried kick out towards the right half-forward flank. Coming to meet it is Ralph, under plenty of pressure from Big Abbott. Close to the boundary line, going to be kept in play and socket off the ground by Frank Marcazzani. Close to the boundary line, and Jamie Morrissey decides, right, let's head for the boundary line.
Well, this will be interesting, of course. Have the footballers sprint at half-time in the main game today, and interesting to see if Marcazzani competes in that. His name was in the papers. We see Warren Ralph going for that mark. He's been paid, and the ex-West Australian full forward will take this kick right out towards centre wing. But Marcazzani is named as Carlton's rep in the half-time sprint, so he's got to play a game and then go in that 100-metre sprint at half-time of the grand final. There's Howard, bring it out of defence towards centre wing, over the shoulder. I think it was to Curran. Let's see, yes, it is Peter Curran. Curran played in the grand final side last year for Hawthorn, as he brings it out wide to Buckenara. Oh, geez, moving well early. Buckenara, he hooks it back. Peter Knights, out he comes, drops. Curran, Curly Austin's in there. Austin, oh, there's a free kick going to Carlton's way over the neck. And I think that's Peter Kenny getting up. He's had a couple of good finals games.
Ricky Nixon, Pete.
Sorry, Ricky Nixon, number 48. Kenny, of course, is number 40. Towards centre wing. An attempted mark there was by Millum Hanna. Still on that centre wing area as Hanna on the left foot gets a hurried kick. Bennett was grabbed, I feel, yes, by Des English, and umpire Howlett right onto that one, and James Bennett takes this on centre wing.
So we're in the 9th minute of this grand final. An opportunity for the Rocket. Here goes Eade. A pass up towards Buckenara again, covering plenty of ground. Back to Eade. He's on the left foot. Hooks it deep in towards full forward. Austin's there on the last line of defence. Should have taken the mark. Didn't. And spilled over for one behind.
And there must be a big question mark over a number of players, their futures out in the ground. Curly Austin would certainly be one. I'd be very surprised if he played next year. Peter Knights, there must be some question mark there. And apparently there's a question mark about Gary Buckenara, whether he'll settle up again. Now here's Muller, Ian Muller, who Carlton have a very high opinion of. He brings it up towards half forward, Scott Howe, but it was in the back before that to Warren Ralph. There would probably be no better kick for goal in league football than Warren Ralph, but this will test his kicking ability. He's a long, long way out from goal. He is a great kick.
You'll make a liar of you, Peter.
Well,
He'll put this out and bounce on the floor.
Let's have a look at this kick. He is a great kick of a football. There's the drop punt, doesn't quite get onto it, lands it up near the goal square. Up they go, touched off the hands and over the line. Scoreboard showing 1-2 Hawthorn, Carlton yet to score.
And we've played just over 9.5 minutes of this first term. It's a sellout this day at the MCG, and the crowd already building up well, because it's a chance for the Hawks to get off to a great day on a very positive note.
Go back 12 months ago, Sandy, there was an all-in brawl at this stage at the 9-minute mark between Melbourne and Carlton.
There's the ball up once again, a chance. Good tackle. Picking it up was Shine. A hurried kick going out in face of goal. Picked up by Gagan into the square. I think it's bounced through. It has for Carlton's first.
To that football on the half-forward line, and it's put a lot of pressure on that Hawthorn defence as we see Marcoux bring it up towards Mackenzie and Howell. It hits the deck. Oh, a bit of a fumble went on there. It's grabbed there by Abbott. Abbott has the ball smothered. Shine tries to crash his way through, was grabbed, I feel. Yes, in umpire Carey. He goes onto the left foot. He kicks wide. Howell slips over just as he's about to take the mark. And here comes Whitman as he brings it across towards half forward. McGrath can't take the mark. Oh, bit of a ticky touch with one. That is, Gagan was about to get away with it, but McGrath is on half-back flank as he has paid this free kick. He brings it towards the centre wing area. Malaxos out in front, uses the body beautifully, Steve Malaxos. A wonderful hand pass over the top to Buckenara. A short kick looking for Knights. Austin's got Knights covered up there. It's grabbed there by Perovic. Was he holding it? No, said the umpire. The ball was forced over the line. And, well, there's another player who there could be a question mark about whether he'll be at Carlton next year. I don't want to retire them all, but I think you'd agree, Don.
Well, you say this about every grand final side who plays in the Army Reserve, Peter. Every year there are a number of senior players in that position.
There's one boy that's certainly going to be with the club for a while.
Well, Carlton feel, I know that Carlton feel he's almost there as a player and not quite.
Shine to centre wing. Hartney,
Good.
Solidly met. James Bennett does well. Puts it up towards the half-forward line once again, and the mark is taken by Dave Sullivan.
That hurt Hartney too. The trainers are out to him because Bennett really braced himself there, and that was a hard knock.
Now Sullivan, 40 metres out, using the drop punt. Good-looking kick off the boot, and he's put it through for Hawthorn's second. So they move to 2-2, 14. Again, opening up an 8-point break. Carlton, one solitary goal.
Well, this is why I picked Hawthorn. There's a number of younger players that they've got. A little bit underdone as far as experience is concerned, but their enthusiasm cannot be questioned. And this fellow here, young Sullivan, a terrific mark by Bennett. Then under pressure from Hartney. Hartney really did go for the ball. Set it up beautifully, Bennett, across to Sullivan. And Sullivan's played a number of good games. Captain of their under-19 side.
Robertson was tackled far too high there. Colin Robertson, he's been a hero in a couple of Hawks finals teams as he brings it towards half forward. Oh, Buckenara looking dangerous up there. There's young Sullivan ducking the head. In went Malaxos. In there also is Robertson. Now it's Curran, dispossessed. Grabbed by Wow Jones, brings it out towards Gagan. Oh, they flew against each other, and Rocket Rodney Eade anticipates beautifully. He goes short to half forward, and the mark has been taken by a leading Peter Knights. Now he's a long way out from goal in front of the Melbourne members stand as we see the replay. A beautiful lead and a lovely pass.
First time the Hawthorn players have actually picked him out. He's been in front on every occasion. First time.
Well, there's the drop punt. It's a high floater up towards the goal square. Players fly, and the big Carlton backmen have forced it through, or one behind. There's a close-up of Peter. What a great player he's been for Hawthorn for many, many years, mainly at centre-half back. 2-3 Hawthorn, and Carlton on one goal.
Back into play once again. Hartney looking to have recovered from that bump. Eade gets the handball away. Here's another man who can take a bump. Teal down towards the half-forward line. Malaxos the opportunity now. Claimed by Marcoux. Loses it. Austin clear. Not a well-delivered kick, however. He's looking for Gagan, but Eade intercepts. Decides to centre the football. There's a couple of them there. Considine at the back. Deer not quite having the pace. Hannah being called back 15 metres, so Considine again to put Hawthorn deep into attack. And another one.
Interesting to note, Sandy, there's only 2 Hawthorn players on their back line. That's the indication of why Hawthorn, their seniors and reserves, are the best running side in the competition. They're prepared to take a risk and go down and kick goals.
That was bad play by Milam Hannah. He gave away a 30-metre penalty. Now it puts Considine right in front of goal, only 35 metres out, within kicking distance, as we see the kick by Paul Considine, and it's a goal.
Having played almost 17.5 minutes of this first term, and Hawthorn handy leaders. 3-3 to 1 straight goal. Deer up against Jones, taken away by Malaxos, down towards Sullivan on the half-forward line. Buckenara attempts to shepherd out Nixon, not successful. Nixon across to Kenny. He's claimed. Another good tackle by Nixon, but English is able to clear it down towards centre wing. Hannah takes the mark. Driving Carlton now down towards the right half-forward flank. Ralph late on the scene. Tapped over the back. And a chance for Byrne. Receiving the handball. Clears with a short pass down towards the half-back line. Considine is there once again, but the boundary line too close, and another throw.
Byrne has done some absolutely magnificent work using his body. Hasn't had a number of kicks, but punching the ball out and terrific smothering. Very well done in the back pocket.
Greg Deer against Scott Howell. Considine charges after it, but it beats him over the line. Now, I just wonder if there... has he been on the ball yet, Don?
No, Byrne's playing
so he's permanent.
On Mackenzie in the forward pocket.
Permanent back pocket, Michael Byrne, which would surprise a lot of people, although they've got a tall man there in Deer, as we see Malaxos bring it down towards centre wing. There's Sullivan, who Don is very impressed with. Marcasani, ton of pace, gives it to English. Taken away by Considine, over to Rodney Eade, and the Hawks are looking great in this first quarter.
On behind play.
As it's a fight's on, but what's Eade as he brings it down towards... Oh, that spoilt that play as the mark has been taken by Wow Jones. He breaks away. He goes for the short pass and finds Shane Robertson. Robertson brings it further around, looking for Ricky Nixon as the fight has subsided there, and there's Malaxos getting up, and the umpire says the ball was out of bounds. Scoreboard showing 3-3 Hawthorn, Carlton 1 goal.
19.5 minutes played, first term. Unable to get the kick was Marcoux. Sullivan, again, will see it over the line. 15-point margin. Favouring Hawthorn. Goal kickers have been Considine, Whitman and Sullivan, whilst for Carlton, Neil Gagan has kicked their only major. Jones, Bordelotto, has had shocking injury worries throughout the year. Gagan tries to storm through but loses the footy. Almost be a kicking in danger. Well, it's going to go back to Hartney. Centre of the ground. Ralph gives him a lead. Unable to complete the mark, however. And once again, Morrissey clears. Out wide, the running rocket, Rodney Eade is away. Will he get claimed by Muller? No, he just gets his kick in time. Down towards Buckenara. With him is Kenny, his immediate opposition. Kenny the victor on this occasion. Curly Austin, the hurried kick back towards the centre. Morrissey was there. Gagan affects the spoil. Geez, playing strong footy. Gets the handball out. Muller's under a bit of pressure. Onto the right boot he goes. Whitman goes for a soccer off the ground. Taken by Abbott. Down towards Malaxis at half forward. Jones pushes it out wide. Only to see Buckenara pick it up. He's claimed by Marcoux. And eventually it'll be Robertson who gets Carlton out of trouble. Down towards Scott Howell on the left half forward flank. Howell flicks it back. Ralph slips at the critical stage. Howard is with him, applying plenty of pressure. And eventually all Ralph can do is head for the boundary line, but he's picked out a free kick. And perhaps a little bit of bad luck for Glenn Howard.
It was great play by Warren Ralph, the way he used his body, but I felt a bit sorry for Glenn Howard.
He didn't want the ball, Peter.
Well, if you have a look at it
on replay,
what's this? But a good use of the body, wasn't it? To get himself in front, that's what I'm saying.
The ball in.
Yeah, it was a bit stiff, Howard, to get that given against him. They're both battling hard for the ball. But Ralph, well, I've already spoken about his kicking ability, but this is a very, very difficult one from the boundary line, about 40 metres out from goal. But if anyone could do it, he could. There's that magnificent-looking drop punt. What a kick. Goal.
Once again after that goal, socket off the ground by Perovic, but straight towards Sullivan of Hawthorn. Hannah applying the pressure, loses it, pushes it out wider for Marcasani. Now this boy has enormous pace, can't get away on this occasion. Over down towards Gagan he goes. Gagan tried to tap it forward. Was he held? The umpire says no, we'll play on. So Shine gets it across to Hannah. Hannah, a pop shot at the goals, just off target, and 1 point over.
Well, there's Milam Hannah. I think he's a Lebanese boy. If he plays senior football, I think he did play one game on the bench. So
first Lebanese
footballer. First Lebanese boy, and here's Muller, half forward flank. Ian Muller, ton of natural skills. Muller, he goes for the short pass. A beautiful lead by Warren Ralph out in front of Michael Byrne. And Ralph has marked about 25 to 30 metres out from goal on a very slight angle. Look at this on replay, Don.
Well, that's bad play by Hawthorn, because Ralph led into that hole and Hawthorn should have dropped the ruckman or another player there, and it was just set up for Ralph, because Muller is a good kick and really had a ton of area on which to lead and take that ball.
Let's see what he can do. There's the kick on its way. The goal umpire has a good look and says, yes, they're back in business. Warren Ralph has kicked his second, and the Blues have now bridged the gap with 2 quick goals, a 2-point margin at the 23.5-minute mark.
Here again on replay, Muller across to Ralph. I was just thinking that Ralph would be a frustrating player to play with, because sometimes he ducks his head at the crucial moment, just as he's about to take a lay-down misère, and yet on other occasions can kick beautifully as he did then.
I notice young Teal is off the ground, and Michael Gertz has come onto the ground. As it's back in the centre, chance for Considine. Wow, Jones is in there. Now Hawthorn through Curran, bring it down towards half forward. James Bennett got the run of the ball. He gets the bounce also. Swings onto the left foot, a beautiful little pass. Oh, Knights has dropped the sitter. As it comes, it's kicked off the ground by Austin, lands in the hands of Marcoux. He brings it up towards centre wing. Hannah flew from behind. The base of the pack, who's that? Morrissey. Grabbed by Nixon. Nixon brings it out towards half back. Half back for Hawthorn, that is. Colin Robertson. Normally a very good handballer, but this one was smothered. But getting back to that lead by Ralph, you can't tell me that if the ball is about 70 metres out from goal, it is not a better idea to have someone just chip in short than go for that automatic kick to the goal square every time. And that was intelligent play by Carlton. As we see, the ball is smothered there. Whitman's got it. He comes down the centre of the ground. He brings it towards half forward. Desi English, is it, or Bortolotto? It's Bortolotto has got it. Swings away on the right foot and brings it right out wide where Warren McKenzie has led for the ball. A lovely hand pass. Lands with Ian Muller. Onto the left foot he goes. Brings it to half forward. Howard has taken the mark. And Glenn Howard's got a big job today on Warren Ralph.
Short. In towards the centre of the ground. And Big Abbott leaps away. A deer it was, loping away. Down towards the half forward line. That time Knights comes steaming through.
He was the only one who really went for that, Don.
And a go.
That's exactly right. And Knights at this stage, he cannot afford to drop those as he dropped one earlier.
Short he goes. Oh, and it's not a good kick either. They may get out of trouble here through Considine. Deer calling for it at half forward. But Considine decides to head for home. Down towards full forward. And the mark has been taken by Buckenara. Plays on. Swings round. And the kick, it's good.
Well, that was absolutely fantastic play by Buckenara. Number one, the way that he took the mark there from behind, he did not infringe. He jumped that little bit earlier, which he did in the seniors a couple of weeks ago out at Waverley. You will see it here. Launched himself that little earlier than the opposition, put him off balance, but then the thing was he took a good mark, didn't rest on his laurels, took off and kicked a beautiful goal from deep in that forward pocket.
4-3 Hawthorn, Carlton on 3-1. We're seeing a great game of football here in the Armoury Reserve Cup Grand Final. There's Marcoux onto the left foot, down towards half forward. It's good mark by Whitman. Whitman brings it towards half forward. Oh, Curly Austin comes out, and he's playing a very solid game. He and Des English down in defence. Austin. Oh, the umpire is saying that Peter Curran went over the mark there. Curran not agreeing with him, but Austin is brought right up towards that centre square area with that familiar drop punt of his as he brings it towards Scott Howell. Hannah was there also. That was almost a mark as Hannah tackled by Buckenara, really putting himself into this game. But Hannah on the left foot, a high one to Ralph. Oh, good mark to Warren Ralph, a beautiful mark, and those couple of goals have given him a tremendous amount of confidence.
Well, Ralph here we see on replay came up over the back, and the Hawthorn player I think made it look a little bit better because he really didn't get off the ground.
So Ralph, a long, long way out from goal, going for the torpedo punt, and it's a towering kick across the face of goal, and 1 point is the result.
Well,
he is an unbelievable kick.
Yes.
That was a torpedo from the edge of the square.
Well, we said that earlier. I think that, there is no better kick in league football than Warren Ralph. There's no doubt about that, as we see Glenn Howard bring it out towards the half-back area, and that's a good mark there taken by Peter Kenny, and that's the ball was shoved out of the way, and it's 15-metre penalty against Hawthorn there. Getting back to... Sorry, Don.
I was just wondering if there's any relation to Paddy Kenny.
I don't think he is. Kenny was a West Australian. Paddy Kenny from Collingwood. There's a long torpedo putt. That's a goal. Oh, hit the post. A beautiful kick. We've seen some great kicking down here by the Carlton side. And, well, the difference is now only 1 goal. Hawthorn 4-3, Carlton 3-3.
Glenn Howard brings it back in again. Considine marks in the back pocket. Looking up towards the wing. He goes long. Geertz waits down. Carlton out of trouble once again. Nixon, not a good bounce. James Bennett a chance. His handball up towards the half-forward line. Here they go through Gertz, who's followed play down. Malaxos combining with him, but just beaten by the siren. And the good passages of play not rewarded, I'm afraid. And so at quarter time, Hawthorn 4-3-27, leading Carlton 3-3-21 on the 7 Sports scoreboard. So Hawthorn 4-3-27, Carlton 3-3, second term with a 6-point lead. Here we go from the centre bounce. Let's see what they can do this time. Wow Jones getting a long run at the football, but it was won by Deere, pushed further down half-forward line by Curran. First to this one could be Perovic, not picking it up, just soccering it towards the boundary line, and again gains some 10 metres towards Gagan. He goes onto the left foot, owned towards Howe. Couldn't take the mark. Over his head it goes. No one able to pick it up. Eventually the handball comes out towards Robertson. He's clear. Kick partly smothered. He goes in towards big Greg Deere. Loping after it. He picks it up, tumbles a punt to half forward, but once again in front of Buckenara is Peter Kenny. Back towards centre wing he goes. Big pack of players. Gagan was in it. Howell waiting down towards the boundary line. Still in play. Back with Gagan, picking up plenty of touches. Down towards Shine. Just tried to tap it over the back, but there was no one at home. Robertson, on the other hand, has support. The handball was unable to be taken. Ralph, does he want the football enough? No, said the umpire.
Good decision by the umpire.
It was an excellent decision. He made no attempt whatsoever to get that one out, and umpire Peter Carey was onto that. Michael Gertz started off on interchange as he brings it down towards half forward. Curran trying to do a bit of wrestling, grabbed by McKenzie, has been moved away from the forward line. Marcassani hasn't been in it a lot so far. Too high, said the umpire. Marcassani might be hurt here. Let's see if he's hurt his shoulder. Doesn't look too good, Frank. Frank Marcassani, he wants to get rid of that ball very quickly, but he now gets away and kicks it on the right foot, a wobbly old one down towards the forward line. Chance for Scotty Howe, beautiful play down to Ralph. He can't get back quickly enough, over his head and through for 1 point. As we see James Morrissey, looks still holding his head, so he's obviously collected one pretty heavily round the head area. As we see the scoreboard showing Carlton on 3-4, Hawthorn 4-3.
Good
back Greg Deere, as Don said, a good mark. Beautiful stab pass to Sullivan, David Sullivan, captain of their under-19s this year, on the left foot, up towards Buckenara at Knights. Knights is not holding his marks today, but here he goes. The blonde bombshell as he gets it towards the forward pocket. Oh boy, they've messed that one up. Hawthorn knocked away there by McGrath. Beautiful play to keep it in. Now it's Peter Knights grabbing it. A flying pot shot at the goals. The high one. Buckenara from behind. Oh, boy, there's a sign of class. What a mark by Gary Buckenara.
Yes, well, that deserves, and I did give it a round of applause because that was a very good mark. And there you see it on replay. That was fantastic. And now he lines up for his second goal, and he is another very, very good kick for goal.
20 metres out, directly in front. Buckenara's shot is all clear. So Gary Buckenara has kicked his second goal, and the Hawks sneak away again. 5-3, plays 3-4.
In that passage just leading up to there, it was off air, but Knights really, when he should be going for those marks, Peter, in the fact that he's injured, he should be taking them, shouldn't he? Because you really don't get a second opportunity, especially in finals and especially in football.
You're dead right, especially if you are carrying an injury. Well, not 100%. You've got to make every post a winner. There is Hartney crashing his way through. Down towards Bradley Shine hasn't been in it all that much. He had a great game in one of the finals where he kicked 6 goals. Whitman. Players pouncing on top of it, about centre-half forward area for Carlton. They're trailing at the moment by 3-4 to 5-3. 22 plays 33, so 11 points the difference. Umpire Howlett bounces the ball. Flintoff was there. Now Sullivan's doing a power of good work. He gets it to Malaxos. Malaxos to half forward. Punched away by Buckenara. That was good play and good shepherding there, as covering him well was Greg Deere. He hooks it back. The mark has been dropped there by Hartney. He goes in after it again. He's backed up by Kenny. Kenny out wide. gives it to Bordelotto. Bordelotto, a beautifully directed kick, finds Neil Gagan. Gagan. Now, what's going to happen here? It'll be a professional 15 metres, that one. And Buckenara, that'll be 30 metres against Gary Buckenara. And if he doesn't hurry back, it'll be another 15. Let's see. No, he gets back onto the mark. Neil Gagan going in very hard. He has been in this game. There's Ralph. Nearly took the mark. Play on, said the umpire. Howe tries to crash his way through. Flintoff to Considine. Considine with a long hand pass towards centre wing area. Kenny cleverly gets it out to Perovic. Perovic towards half forward. Oh, you see the strength of the wind there. The mark was dropped. Gagan is there. Brings it back towards Ralph. Warren Ralph flies from behind. He goes in after it again. Playing for the free kick there, and the umpire said he made no attempt. Oh, gee,
but that wasn't that similar to the free kick he received earlier.
Yeah, very similar. As the hand pass comes out to Robertson. Robertson, oh gee, a mistake made by Michael Gertz there. Sullivan, oh, doing a power of work. Over to Gertz. Back to Considine. Considine handballs to himself. Goes in after it again. Hannah's there also. It's on centre wing, and the bounce will take place.
Almost 6 minutes played, Pete, in this second term, and Hawthorn leading by 11 points. Deere and Jones. Well, it was a shocking bounce, and in fact Des English has gone for it with James Bennett, and Des wins out. Down towards the half-forward line. Robertson defensively over the line.
Actually, the umpire, when he bounced that ball, came off the painted area of the pitch to get a better bounce, and it really didn't help. Maybe he should have stayed on the painted area.
A wealth of information,
Don.
A
lot of trivia, Peter, but it's interesting.
Well, there's Abbott getting it down there to Flintoff. Back to Abbott. Abbott on the right foot. Nixon. And Des English, he's a cool player. He never seems to get flustered, but on this occasion he's kicked just off line and marked there by Whitman. Whitman brings it towards half-forward. Perovic was shoved out by Curran. And umpire Carey in magnificent position, side on to view that. And a free kick must go to Vladimir Perovic.
Now, Carlton making a change. Wow Jones is off and Rhett Baines on. Perovic's kick down towards half-forward. Considine underneath it. So too was Marcazani. Gagan unable to take it. Baines straight on the ground, got a touch, but in the meantime, free kick is going to go the way of Considine, who's been busy in this game. Sixth kick.
Carlton little men have got to do more, Sandy. They're when around the packs, they're just not doing enough good work.
Considine's floating punt in towards the centre. Perovic at the back of Howe couldn't take it, but he does have enough support to get it back towards Shine. Hannah drifting down to the half-forward line. He elects to go longer. Ralph's the target. Couldn't take it. Is clear though. Gets a hurried kick. Won't come back far enough. And Michael Byrne again defending stoutly. Gets it out across towards Flintoff. He goes further forward down towards the half back line. Now it's with Considine on the wing. Considine's kick up towards Buckenara. Oh, plucks it in with the one hand.
Has he got some class or not? Gee.
Knight's the target.
He looked for
and takes it.
He is an amazing player, that Buckenara. The only thing wrong with him, he lacks a yard. Well, that's the only reason he's not in the senior side.
He's only lacks a yard because of that very, very serious operation he had. And that was an absolute tragedy in a grand final for that to happen to Buckenara. There's the kick by Peter Knight. It's a beautiful looking drop punt. It's a goal.
Plays 3-4, favouring the Hawks. As Don mentioned, Marcazani off the ground and Kennedy on. Nixon overruns it. Kennedy a chance now. Smothered by Curran. Has the ball taken away. Sullivan could give it to Malaxos. No, he doubles back. Flicks it in towards full forward. Perovic going back. Bordelotto dropped what he should have taken. This allows McGrath through. He's clear. Gets it onto the right boot, but it goes straight up in the air. Knights is underneath this. If he can take it, he can't. What's his recovery like? Tries to scoop the ball forward. Loses it, and Austin is ridden over the boundary line. So, throw in to take place. But the Hawks doing all the attacking at the moment. Peter?
They certainly are, and they look the better side at the moment. Peter Knights, if he starts taking his marks, it'll be how far Hawthorn. But there's Malaxos. Gets a hand pass to Buckenara. The touch of class again as he hooks it back. Curly Austin, ever reliable, terrific contributor all the time. Right, Austin, ever since he first started at Carlton, he's been a great competitor. As we see the ball, half-back flank, Mick Kennedy couldn't keep it in play. 43 is McKennedy for Carlton, who replaced Frank Marcassani. And Carlton cannot get their game going. Warren Ralph is looking very dangerous down at full forward, but they're not getting it down there often enough, as we see Scott Howe in front. Beautifully punches it wide, but it beats Bradley Shine over the line. A lot of those Carlton players who were so dominant in the other finals games, Don, are battling today.
Yes, well, it's hard to come up under the pressure that Hawthorn are applying, and they're being rewarded every time they go now into the forward line.
Centre wing, Kennedy. Oh dear, was going to boot it off the ground. The umpire said that Hartney copped one in the back. Umpire there being David Howlett. Hartney, not a long kick. Hannah can't take the mark. McKennedy's there. Taken away by Whitman. A nice hand pass to Deere. Deere to Robertson. Colin Robertson has got it. He dodges around. He's got a ton of pace, Robertson, and great skills. Onto the left foot. He's looking for Curran. Curran dodges around. Half forward flank. He brings it to half forward. Who's there for Hawthorn? It's a mark. The mark has been taken by Roger Ellingworth. At centre half forward, the ex-Melbourne player, as we see it in replay, a mark on the chest. He is 40 metres out directly in front.
Good play by Curran then, because he kicked it into that centre corridor, and it's much easier to kick goals when you're in that corridor.
The kick from Ellingworth. Looks good off the boot, but just drifting slightly, and 1 point only. Well, a touch of deja vu for Roger Ellingworth, who of course was here last year with the Melbourne club.
That's right, as we see Rod Austin. Now what's happening there? It's a free kick down the field against it's against a Hawthorn player down around centre back area, and the free kick is going to Carlton. Nixon towards centre wing. Carlton really need to get a move on. Hawthorn have been looking very, very impressive. Bordelotto takes the mark on centre wing. They've got loose men everywhere, Carlton. But, oh, he's gone wide. Gagan just marks it inside the line. Oh, here's Mark Koo on his own in front of the Melbourne members standing a long way out. He fires at goal. A one-out duel, Mackenzie and Byrne. Over the back is Mackenzie as the ball hits the deck. What is it? It's a free kick going Carlton's way to Muller. Right in front of goal. The umpire saying he was pushed in the back. Let's have a look at it in replay.
Well, really, I suppose Ellingworth went right over the top then. He was going at such a speed. Muller fell over and he went over the top, and it was an unfortunate free.
The shot at goal is good. And a much-needed one for the Blues. Ian Muller kicks his first and Carlton's fourth. So they trail by 12 points. 4-4 plays 6-4 on the 7 Sports scoreboard.
Well, I think every year we're there, it is in replay again as we see Muller, yes, no doubt, a free kick, good umpiring. But every year we come here, Don, for the Army Reserve Cup final, it's terrific to watch. It's almost like a senior game.
Well, it is, Peter, and I love finals because it really does show you what players are made of and how people do react, and sportsmen under pressure.
Back to the centre-backs. And pressure's what it's all about, Don. Yes, 13.5 minutes played, second term, an attempted soccer off the ground. Hartney unable to take it. Picked up by Kennedy, a hurried kick down towards Bordelotto. Oh, well done by McGrath, who fisted it downfield to Buckenara. Back to McGrath is great football. Knight says go over the top, but he slips at the crucial time. Picks it up, goes onto his left foot, high in towards the square. Hartney is there. Fisted away by Nixon. Back towards Knights. Howells on his hammer. Gives it to Buckenara. Danger here as he snaps it. Goal. Oh, he's kicked the beauty. The Hawks. Eade gets the handball away. Robertson couldn't take it. Gagan a hurried kick down towards the half-forward line. Carlton desperately wanting a goal. In trouble is Whitman for the Hawks. He appeared to have his leg wrenched as he tried to get a kick away.
I think Don would agree. I think Hawthorn are going in much harder after the ball and want it more than what Carlton do at this stage.
Well, they're doing much better in the forward line, aren't they, Peter?
And Carlton are leaving it to blokes like Gagan to do all the heavy work. And there he is. He's been in absolutely everything, young Neil Gagan. Down towards half forward. Howard in front of Ralph. Hand pass out wide. Look at the pace of Warren Ralph, though. Beautiful football, Warren Ralph. Over to Alex Marcoux. He hooks it back. Here's a chance for Brad Shine. Oh, good mark. He braced himself. He thought easily have been unloaded there. He had to stand there and wait for the high floater, and he took the mark.
See this, if he had eyes in the back of his head, I wonder if he still would have stood there. Fantastic.
Well, Brad Shine, the ex-West Aussie, kicked 6 goals in a recent final, and He is only 15 metres out directly in front. He stabs at that one, and he has put it through.
Well, that's Brad Shine's first goal. He kicked a number of goals last week. In actual fact, every time he got the ball last week, he had 16-odd kicks. He kicked 6 goals, and he just seemed to have a purple patch at one time and just kicked goals with every kick that he got. And that was well centred by Marcoux. Shine there had Abbott coming from one way, Byrne from the back, and he stood his ground.
What would you have done, Don? If you were coming from 10 metres away, what would you have done?
I would have done... Oh, if I was the...
You would have run into him or what?
I would have run into him, Peter.
Not much.
You would have heard it.
Rushed him. I don't think Shine would have taken the mark if you had been 10 metres away.
Malaxos couldn't take it. Can Considine out of the middle? No, he can't. Malaxos again, this time over the head, Curran, but I think it was deemed a throw, and so it will be Kennedy, the receiver of the free kick. Special comments coming from Don Scott. And of course, Don once again today awarding the $100 to the player he considers the best on the ground. He just mentioned Brad Shine. Shine was the winner a couple of games ago after a fine performance. Here's Kennedy. Bennett. Ralph just taps it clear for Hartney, who kicks it wide, goes out of bounds on the full, and should be brought back into play by David Flintoff.
You could see if Carlton get their game going and leave Ralph one out, they could cut you to pieces, because Ralph is a very, very quick player. As we see the ball being brought back in towards the centre wing area. Robertson, Baines gives it to Shine. Shine a hurried kick to Marcoux. He has the ball punched away. Glenn Howard, or is it Flintoff? Flintoff. They had the two look-alikes up towards, that was Flintoff on that occasion, up towards centre wing it is now. Now here's Shane Robertson, swings onto the left foot.
Good
Too
tackle.
close. What a tackle there by Curran. Grabbed there by Gagan though, hooks it back. The only player there is Glenn Howard, takes the mark, kicks it wide. Malaxos is on his own. We haven't seen a lot of Steve Malaxos today, but he's got a paddock to run in. He goes for the little short chip pass. He finds Rodney Eade. Eade'll probably look for Buckenara. He does, but McGrath from behind. Almost a mark. Now the tackle was too high, said the umpire. And the free kick will go to Buckenara.
It's interesting there, Peter, that the build-up start right at full back, and that is why it's important for now forwards to pick up backmen, because that started with Glenn Howard. He shot the long one out to Malaxos and in turn went across to Buckenara.
Well, let's see Gary Buckenara. He is, as is Warren Ralph, is a very, very good kick of a football. Now he's having a great day, Buckenara. Terrific skills. He's kicked 3 goals. Let's see what he does with this one. I think he's hooked this one across his body and through for 1 point. Just struggling to make the distance there, and that made his accuracy go offline. 5-4 Carlton. Hawthorn 7-5. We're seeing an excellent game of football here as Rod Austin brings it in from full back.
At the 19-minute mark of the second term, Perovic stands his ground, takes the mark and plays on. Now the advantage is played as Robertson bounces his way up towards centre wing, goes with the left foot up towards the half-forward line. Mackenzie is there and didn't realise the ball was still in play. I think at the last minute it just rolled over.
Byrne is doing a great job on Mackenzie, Don.
We must think alike, Peter, and great minds do think alike on occasions. And I was just going to make that mention that Mackenzie hasn't had a kick.
No, he's been very, very quiet. And, well, that's the good player Byrne playing him close. There's Kennedy trying to get the kick in. It's on half-forward flank in front of the Melbourne members, and umpire Howlett will bounce it. Let's see who's doing the ruck work here. It's Mackenzie against Byrne, his immediate opponent. Long way out from goal. They're both, I think, having a spell on the ball at the moment. Oh, a big backhand punch by Gertz. Beautiful play to Sullivan. Sullivan looking for Curran. Oh, he braced himself, but it was in the back. But what a mark all the same to Buckenara. He's got a terrific judgment, but the free had been paid to Carlton, and this looks like Nixon or Kenny, Peter Kenny, I think it is. As he brings it down towards half forward, punched away by the Hawks defence. Oh, Robertson ducks the head. Oh, how did he get through that pack? He's got it. Oh, great play down to Ralph. Oh, what terrific play by Robertson. Ralph was marked 5 metres out directly in front, but you can mark this one down to Robertson.
It's a great play by Shane Robertson, who really did sneak out the back door. And now Warren Ralph, chance to post his third. He does. Being played just over 21 minutes of this second term here in the Army Reserve Cup Grand Final. And Carlton pegging back this lead of the Hawks. Goals this quarter to Shine, Ralph and Buller. Buckenara and Knights have been in the action as far as goals are concerned this term for the Hawks. Muller, a chance now to put Carlton down towards Shine again on that left half forward flank. With him is Robertson. Ralph comes out to do the shepherding work. But the ball goes over the line, and so a throw-in will take place.
Well, Carlton making the change of taking Warren Jones off the ruck, out of the ruck, and put Scott Howell back, and he turned the tables 2 weeks ago too when he went into the ruck, and I think it's a good move, bringing McKenzie out the centre half forward as well, because he's not doing anything in the pocket.
Byrne wins it straight to Gagan, turns one way then back, goes high towards Ralph. McKenzie has been silenced by Byrne. Hannah picks it up, a hurried kick across the face of goal. Here's a chance now, a race in two. Eade pushing the ball along in front of him. Still going towards the boundary line. Keeps it, no, cannot keep it in play. Des English applying the pressure, and eventually it goes over for a throw-in. 7 points favouring Hawthorn. Carlton into attack. Eade thumps it clear. Gains probably 5 or 6 metres before it is taken over the line by Kennedy once again. Now it looks as though James Morrissey is back in business, and he comes back onto the ground now at the expense of Roger Ellingworth.
Hartney towards half forward, touched off the boot, it must have been, because Robertson immediately punched to the ground. He goes in, caught with the ball, and the umpire said it's holding the ball. Gee, that was red hot, because I thought he was pinned by one arm.
The umpire was in the wrong position, Peter, and you can't blame it. It was an honest mistake by the umpire.
Well, there's Bradley Shine towards the pocket. Ralph, oh boy, it just snuck in there over the outstretched hands of Whitman. Ralph has kicked free. He's marked in the pocket, and I'd never say this bloke couldn't kick a goal, because he is a magnificent kick, and he often kicks these miraculous ones. Ralph has been a very, very good player today for Carlton. He loves the big grounds. He's got tons of space to move. He's got great pace, and there's a great kick. So let's see what he does with this one. Warren Ralph, oh, it's floating back. It looks good. What a goal. 4 goals to Warren Ralph.
You summed it up there, Peter. What a goal. But I think he was let in there by young Whitman. Whitman took his eye off the ball, and he could have put a hand up there, and he was worried about the opposition coming in the other direction, and that let Ralph in for a goal. We'll see it here on replay. Shine. Now, you just took his eye off the ball.
Oh, I think you're being a bit hard there. I think that was over his head on that kick. I don't think he could have touched it, really.
Peter, he didn't have a go.
Don't you think?
No. Well, you know.
Oh, well, I thought it was over his head. But still, I think you're being a bit tough on him, as we see Deere down to the ground. Gee, they're coming good now. Carlton, as English gets it down towards the half-forward line. Howard runs out to meet the ball. Baines has dropped back in the goal scorer on his own. If they get the loose ball, Carlton, it'll be dangerous. But there's Robertson, gives it to Howard. Good defensive play. Considine gives it back to Howard. Howard brings it towards Curran. Curran is marked. He's on half-forward, or closer towards centre wing, in fact. The lead has been made by Buckenara. He's got front position. Thumped away by the Carlton defenders. 2 of them combining there, one of them being Austin. Still at halfback, McKennedy ran into a brick wall. Malaxos to James Bennett. The lead has been made by Knights. He ducks back, but the mark is taken by his opponent down there, and Scott Howell. Now, that was a funny sort of a... Yes, I don't think he's fit. Peter Knights, as we see, coming away with the ball. Curly Austin towards half-back. Gagan doing a power of heavy work again, allowing his teammates to come through. It's grabbed by Hartney. Flintoff caught. Deere over the back is Gertz. Good play by the young fella, as Malaxos now dives on top of it. Good play by Steve Malaxos, and he receives a free kick.
Into time on now, Peter. 1 point the difference, favouring the Hawks. Malaxos, a chance to put them deep in towards Knight territory once again. Out of bounds on the full. It came off the boot, a Carlton boot. Now this is going to mean who will take the kick?
Flintoff.
Yes, Peter Knight made a bit of territory, I think, perhaps hoping to get the football, but no, it'll be Flintoff. Hasn't goal to date. tucked right on the boundary line. Using a drop punt, will it drift back in? Not enough, and 1 point only goes on the board. So they stretch their margin now to 2 points.
Yes, 7-4 plays 7-6. 26.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. It's been a very, very good game of football. There's Nixon towards half-back, where the mark has been taken there by Scott Howell. Howell brings it towards the half-forward line. Ralph is using his body to perfection down there. It's grabbed by Desi English. Onto the left foot he goes. Tries to centre the ball. He does so, but the Hawthorn player there in Whitman is there to take the mark there. Chris Whitman from centre half-back brings it towards Peter Curran, who flies. Can't take the mark. A hurried kick comes down toward, that was from Hartney. Down to Ralph. Here's Warren Ralph onto the right foot. Which way will it bounce? Oh, the wrong way. Morrissey. How about that? He kept the ball in and ran round the other side of the post. I'd love to have a look at that in replay in a moment as we see Rodney Eade bringing it towards half-back where the mark has been taken by Abbott, and that'll be a 15-metre penalty. Oh, that was brilliant play by Morrissey down there, and the crowd roared. There's Abbott towards Robertson. About a 12-metre kick, that one. Interchange being made. Baines going off and Rowan Burke coming on towards Malaxos. Used his body beautifully there, Malaxos. Oh, too slow to get rid of it. Shane Robertson sprints away, has a bounce onto the left foot. Oh, it was touched as he had the loose man. Rowan Burke back to Gagan, who's been an excellent footballer today, as he brings it up towards Ralph. Oh, he flies. Nearly took it. Here's Des English. He's got it. Ran out of bounds with it. Had a flying pot shot, but it was out of bounds. Good umpiring by the boundary umpire there in front of the Melbourne members, and the throw-in will take place. Well, have a look at this. Morrissey keeps it in. Ah, he actually threw that up. He actually threw that up in the air, ran round the post, collected it and played on. So technically that was a throw. And the umpire missed it. As we see forward pocket. Gee, the crowd roared when that happened. As we see Considine bringing the ball out of defence. Ricky Nixon, a hand pass. Shine with a long drop punt. The players duck back. It's a mark. It's a mark to Millum Hanna. A beautiful juggling mark right in front of goal. And he is only 7 metres out. And this should give Carlton the lead.
Well, Hanna there was in more or less front position. He brought it down with a second on his second attempt, and really cannot miss from just here.
Hanna's kick is good, and for the first time in the game, Carlton hit the front. Hanna kicks his first. Carlton's 8-4, plays 7-6 on the 7 Sports scoreboard. Not a lot of time left in this quarter. But there it is, 1, 2, 3 grabs at the cherry, and Milan Hanna went on to convert. Back in the centre once again. 4 points, favouring the Blues. What's been a very close, interesting contest so far. Centre bounce. Howell lost it, but they're still able to take it out of the middle, thanks to Hartney. Down towards the half-forward line, although Shine pushed it back. Gets another opportunity. Byrne in trouble. Has the ball held, said the umpire. Hands it back to Des English. No doubt a couple of happy words. And then down to business again. Rowan Burke, as we said earlier, on the ground for Carlton. Robertson's hurried kick down towards the half-forward line. The bounce, will it favour Malaxos? He's going to be beaten for pace, I think, by Perovic. Buckenara now, bumped out of the way. Perovic grasps it nicely with the one hand and is going to receive the free kick. But there's the siren, so Pero, although he can whoop a football, certainly won't do any damage there. And at half-time, Carlton 8-4, 52 after a 5-goal quarter, leading Hawthorn 7-6, 48. Leading by 4 points. Here's the bounce. Jones up against Deere. It's a bounce that favours big Wow Jones. Gagan tries to tap it over the back. Did so effectively down towards the wing. Abbott couldn't take it for Hawthorn. Eventually a hurried kick comes out towards the wing. Picked up for Hawthorn by Whitman. Kicked a goal in the first term. Down to centre half forward. Now an opportunity for James Bennett. Overruns it and loses it, however, and Hartney will get them out of trouble. Ricky Nixon decides to head out wide towards the boundary line. He does have support there. And this will be Bortolotto. He's had a shocking run with injuries. Down towards Howell. Couldn't take it on the first grab, but recovers to give it to English. English fires over the head of Ralph. He goes into goal, but it's off target and 1-0.
Oh, gee, he could have passed it to Ralph too. Ralph was on his own in the goal square. 8-5 Carlton. Hawthorn 7-6. There's Des English. Must have seen the big sticks coming down from the back line because he had a shot. He could have given it to Ralph, but still, he was certainly within kicking distance. There's Malaxos getting it towards centre wing. Curran tries to crash his way through. Or was that ridden into the ground? It was, said the umpire, against Sullivan, and it will go to Ricky Nixon. He goes for the long kick. He's looking out there for Mackenzie, who flies from behind. No mark. Morrissey is back on the ground. Tackled from behind. I think he was grabbed by the foot. So the ball will go back to half-back flank to Jamie Morrissey, who copped a very, very heavy knock early in the game, and I think he had a very sore head. Up towards Curran. Thumped away. Oh, here's a chance for English once again. He's playing well, Des English again. Onto the left foot, the little short pass to Ralph. Beautifully spoilt by Howard. English butters up again, was grabbed when he didn't have the football, and the umpire said it's Des English's free kick on half-forward flank. Now the ball back with English as he hooks that back to the pocket. That was a strange bit of play and puts it out of bounds on the full. So that's not good football from an experienced player. Colin Robertson, number 32 for Hawthorn, brings the ball towards Morrissey and Gertz. Morrissey takes the mark. Hand pass to Whitman. Whitman running straight up the centre of the ground, looking for Bennett. Ducking back and taking a good mark, though, is Nixon. Nixon out wide, looking for Muller. He flies from behind. He's got it. Oh, good skills. Onto the left foot. Brings it towards half-forward. Gagan ducks back. Oh, he's as strong as an ox. He's been a terrific player today, Neil Gagan. Off he goes. Hooks it back towards, oh, long kick towards Ralph. Ralph from behind. Couldn't take the mark. Over the back. A chance for Glenn Howard, his opponent. A long hand pass towards Rodney Eade. Eade, a further hand pass, finds Greg Deere. Deere in the centre of the ground. Brings it out wide, looking for Bennett. Bennett is out-positioned and well beaten there by Brendan Hartney.
Hartney on the half-back line goes back towards the fast-moving Wow Jones on centre wing. Plays straight on with a handball. The kick comes from Kennedy down towards the half-forward line, but once again, the Hawthorn defence just holding up play momentarily. Carlton have done the bulk of the attacking so far in this quarter. Eade and English, two experienced campaigners, and over the line.
It's an interesting move. English playing on the half-forward flank. He was moved there halfway through the second quarter.
Here's the throw in again. Howell from the back, Abbott in front. Howard got a hurried kick, then eventually tried to soccer off the ground. Picked up by English. Down towards full forward, in front this time. Couldn't take it, Mackenzie's having a nasty day. Warren Ralph tucked on the boundary line, goes with a left foot snap, but is off target and 1-0. That one was probably asking just a little too much.
Yes, as soon as he picked it up, I thought, oh, don't tell me he's going to kick this one. As we see the scoreboard, 8-6 to 7-6. Carlton a goal in front. The mark has been taken by Greg Deere. Half-back flank, hand pass to Michael Gertz. Gertz started off an interchange. He brings it towards the half-forward line. Hartney ducks back. Reliable player, Hartney. Throws the ball away. That was an excellent tackle by the Hawthorn player. Let's see, it's Bennett. And he is a good tackler as he brings it towards full forward. Peter Knight's in the middle of the pack. Here's young Sullivan. He's got it. Falls over at the crucial moment. Still in play, though. And eventually the ball is forced through for a behind to Hawthorn. As we see a bit of an altercation going on there. No doubt the umpires will sort that out.
I think they're just trying to find the footy, Pete.
54 plays 49. 5 points the difference.
Just having played 5 minutes of this all-important third quarter. So often proves to be this term that can win you or lose you a football match. Robertson from behind. Curran was there also. The Perovic directing the umpire, and the big whooper was correct. Towards Shine, he couldn't take it. Abbott, hurried kick down towards the half-forward line. Perovic taps it straight into his teammate, who gets pinged for holding the ball. That was Brendan Hartney. Curran's away. Knights will come in from the side. Couldn't take the mark, however, and a good attempt by Peter Kenny. Austin's kick. Kenny again goes out wide. Danger here, Bortolotto and McGrath. Sullivan, clear. Buckenara in the pocket, can run on. He does, steadies, takes his kick and has goal.
I mean, 1 point the difference, this time in favour of Hawthorn. So the game at a very, very vital stage. That important third quarter, as we see Carlton try to get it out of the centre area. There's Hannah, gets a hurried kick into Marcoux, who's had a quiet day, Alex Marcoux. He's at centre half forward. He's had 5 kicks, Alex. So I think Carlton would be expecting a lot more of him than that. Now, Ralph has made the lead. He's been ignored by Marcoux, but Mackenzie's got his name written all over it. Flew too early. Over the back is Howard. Howard brings it towards the half-back line. Kennedy controlled that beautifully. Gets it back to Robertson. Robertson on the left foot, fires. Ralph flies. Was it touched? Yes, said the goal umpire. And through it went for 1 point. So the score's dead set level. 8 goals, 7 apiece. As we see Glenn Howard putting the hands up in despair. He has no one to kick it to. He was well over the line, and the umpire was spotted that one. He was a couple of metres over, and umpire Howlett will come down, and that was caused by the fact he was looking for someone to give it to. And the ball will be bounced right on the line. Let's see how far actually over he was. There he goes. Well, not all that much. It was only
his foot was on the line.
It was only about a metre over, though, but still, I suppose that's...
Well, it doesn't matter if it's an inch over.
Actually, if you watch fullbacks kick off, they often do actually take that kick over the line, but they usually get away with it. But here's Howlett, umpire Howlett, about to bounce it. Down, oh, kicked off the ground by Robertson. Oh, it's a goal, I think. Yes! What a goal!
So Shane Robertson kicks his first, and Carlton regain the lead.
Actually, this was bad play by Byrne. He got the hit out there. He should have thumped that towards the goal line and put it over the boundary. And Robertson kicked that lucky goal, and that may be the goal that Carlton needed. Might just spark them on their way, but they've had a lot of lucky goals, haven't they?
Well, Shane Robertson was starting to come into the game too, Don, in that second quarter. Towards the end, he did a couple of very nice things. As we see, Wow Jones going for one of his low trajectory passes. He finds Warren Ralph. Oh, look at the pace. Trip. He's tripped up. Actually, it was probably a good thing he was tripped up by Glenn Howard, because he was off and running towards goal. He's kicked 4. Now, he is a magnificent kick. We'll say it again, but I think this might test him out for distance unless he got onto a torpedo punt. Looks like he's going, by the way he's holding it, those thumbs down the lace. He's going for the drop punt. Let's see how close he can get. Oh, he tried to kick it too far. The distance was a problem there. He tried to kick it too far and out of bounds on the full.
They're incredible, aren't they? As soon as you give them a rap, I know we've said it before, it was out of foot.
Well, he was trying to kick
it.
It was too far out for him. He should have gone the talk, because he can kick them, as we see Malaxos bring it back in towards the half-back area. It's grabbed by Deere, up in the air. English punches it beautifully to Gagan. Gagan towards full forward. Here's Marcoux. He's got it. Left foot, bang. Goal to Carlton. They're starting to fire.
Alex Marcoux.
Well, that's the first time. Sorry to cut across you, Sandy, but that was the first time we've seen Alex Marcoux on a couple of other occasions, but he really has got to do a lot more. And that was set up by Des English, who was caught behind Rodney Eade. He punched it down to young Gagan. Gagan, who has been a good player today, dribbled one across to Marcoux, and Marcoux, running behind the pack, picked it up and kicked it. And he's got to do a little bit more, Alex Marcoux, if they want to continue on in this game, Carlton.
There's no doubt about it. You love a man to punch that ball away, don't you, Don? Hey?
Robertson takes a buffeting, gets the handball clear. Curran off the ground, a chance for Shane McGrath to answer, but no, off target, and 1 point only. 10-7, plays 8-8 on the 7 Sports scoreboard.
He's been quiet, Don. McGrath.
Well, there's a lot of other players being quiet. I've been very disappointed with Jamie Bennett too.
kick from Austin. Kenny, the target, couldn't find him. Out to Buckenara. Danger again here for Carlton. Trying to centre the football on this occasion. Robertson is there and he takes the mark. Within scoring distance. And a chance to cut the margin back to only 5 points.
You were saying earlier, Peter, that might be Buckenara's last season. I believe if he worked on his speed over summer, he would be a real acquisition next year because he's got a very, very quick head.
Well, I don't know that for sure, but there was an article in the paper about it.
Kick from Robertson, off target, and could be an expensive one, 1 point only.
Well, actually, the article said that, I think it quoted Gary there, that if he was not selected in the senior side today, he may be heading back home to Western Australia.
Well, it'll be certainly Hawthorn's loss and Victorian football's loss. Jones gets the handball out. Shine's kick up towards centre wing, and Scott Howe, a free kick. Just on the attack side of centre wing. Kick smothered by big Paul Abbott, and beautifully taken away by David Flintoff. Gets his kick across the centre. The bounce for Nixon. He snares it for his teammate, and that was Kennedy. Got a short kick. Now tries to surge it forward. An opportunity for Perovic. He loses it. Gagan, a fierce tackler. Bennett is caught, but the ball was held, said the umpire.
Yeah.
And so a bounce will take place.
Good umpiring by Peter Carey there. He is a very good umpire, Peter Carey, and while some umpires might have played that holding the ball, we had no chance of getting rid of that. 2 umpires, Peter Carey and David Howlett, in the centre of the ground. It's grabbed by David Sullivan. He brings it back to half forward, but Carlton's starting to get on top down there. Kenny at centre half back has taken the mark. Peter Kenny brings it towards half forward. Up they go. There's a good mark to Morrissey, but Peter Knights has been well down today, but his opponent is a very difficult man to beat, Rod Austin. No flair about him. He just goes about his job and he usually beats his opponent. There is Colin Robertson, taken away by Shane Robertson. Bradley Shine couldn't get his kick in. Players pounce on top of it on half forward for Hawthorn.
Rod Austin's job's been made a lot easier because Knights is really not moving around. He's playing the old-fashioned full forwards game of mark and kick, and it's not on in today's game.
Trying to think of someone who played a similar old-fashioned full forwards game. Doug Wade.
Old-fashioned football.
What about Doug Wade? They come under that category as we see the ball up towards full forward for Hawthorn. Kenny bundled out of the way. Now here's McGrath. Oh, he goes in, Gagan. Oh, he does the heavy work again over to Curly Austin towards the line. Now Nixon back to Curly Austin. Austin towards centre wing. Greg Deere up in front. Now it's a Millen Hanna. Kennedy has done some good work in this quarter. Up towards half forward. Ralph caught behind. Howard couldn't take the mark. Morrissey gets it to Byrne. Byrne on the right foot, looking down there for James Bennett. He's got it. He's in all sorts of trouble. Gets in the hand pass to Abbott. Abbott finds Eade, but the mark has been... Oh, he was off. I think he was off, Perovic, and the umpire's letting him have the benefit of the doubt.
So, Val Perovic. So take it on centre wing. A couple of the Hawks boys not too happy about that decision. They felt he was off. I think Pero knew he was off, but he conned him. Down towards the half-forward line. Abbott again. Play on is the call. That ball obviously touched. Perovic again. Couldn't take it this time. Jones. And this time the free kick goes against Perovic to be taken by Curran. It's on centre wing. The Hawks wanting a score. Got a loose player down on that half-forward line. It's Michael Gertz. Gertz fires in towards goal. Plenty of flyers. Bortolotto up too high. Fisted it away, but the free kick went against Buckenara for a push. He went up very early.
That was a perfect chance when Michael Gertz had that ball for someone to lead to that space or that hole that Don talks about so often. And no one led. They just kicked it up in the air, and that made it easy for the Carlton backmen. Now, they had plenty of space to run to, and it could have been a nice, easy goal, but they didn't bother to lead. Wow, Jones, beaten by Deere, but it's grabbed there by Nixon. Nixon towards half back to Marcoux. Gets in the hand pass, but beautifully intercepted by Paul Abbott. He goes for a long kick. Knights from behind. But not good enough because there were 2 or 3 Carlton players. There's Shane Robertson getting a left foot kick up towards Abbott, who takes a bit. Oh boy, bit stiff there. That looked like a mark to me. I thought he was the only man who touched Paul Abbott, and Colin Robertson saying exactly that to the umpire, and he's copping a warning. And Robertson doesn't want to go on with it, but he's telling the umpire he was wrong, and I agree, he was wrong. As we see Deere. Oh, here's danger because Marcou's got it. He gets away from Whitman. He hooks it back. But waiting there, and this one will be paid to Paul Abbott as he marks it on his chest. Half-back flank. Short pass, finds Robertson. Colin Robertson has won a Norm Smith medal, I feel, for best player in a grand final. He gets it, and there's Muller. Gee, can take a grab, Ian Muller.
Yes, he's in the centre of the ground. Chance to put the Blues forward once again. The drop punt on its way down towards Warren Ralph. At the back, Howard. An intelligent handball. Getting it away to Morrissey, who just clears up towards centre wing. Or Deere, perhaps a little too casually on that occasion, taken by Hartney. Kicking into a nest of Hawthorn players there, however, and it's Robertson who takes the mark.
I think that's why Brendan Hartney's not in the seniors. That was a terrible kick. He was loose. He could have done a nice low pass to his man who was in front, and he kicked it straight up in the air, as you've called it, Sandy, to the Hawthorn players. As we see a chance for Mick Kennedy, who's playing well now, down towards Robertson, who's smothered that beautifully. There's a 30-metre hand pass to Greg Deere. That's great play. Down to McGrath. McGrath trying to crash his way through, ran into a brick wall. Mick Kennedy. Oh, good football. There's English. A hurried kick. Up towards Scott Howell, taken away beautifully by Morrissey. Morrissey to Weed. Here's a chance for Hawthorn. He short pass. Malaxos. Oh, free kick, was it?
No.
No. Oh, boy, I think I would have paid that. He had no hope of marking it. The player ran right at him. As we see Curly Austin brings it back to Hannah. Gee, that was bad luck there to Malaxos. They're not too happy about it. There's Gagan. Neil Gagan's been an outstanding player today on the left foot. Beautiful pass up towards McKenzie. McKenzie on half forward. He brings it up towards Ralph. Oh, interference. A free kick to Ralph. Bad play, Glenn Howard. The ball was about 15 metres away. He was worried about Ralph. He hipped him out. What's this?
Just see this on ring.
Oh, you can't do that to a player. Ralph's kicking ability. He's 40 metres out from goal, 40 to 45 metres. And he has kicked 4 goals already.
Let's see what he can do here. Carlton's lead at the moment, 10 points. Ralph with a drop punt. Going across the face of goal and never really deviating at all. So 1 behind the result. The margin now 11 points.
Well, Carlton give the impression now they're just about to go on with the game. Hawthorn seem to be running out of legs.
Byrne back into play. Howell waiting down Kennedy. Smothered off the boot. Or the pressure that was applied to him caused him to kick it off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. The Hawks certainly not out of it yet. They're going to go deep into attack again. Gertz the opportunity up towards the left half forward flank. Buckenara looking for the free kick for holding it, didn't come his way, and now it's with Val Perovic. Caught, slips on the ground, play on is the call. Curran gets the handball across to Sullivan. He's clear, steadies, fires at goal. It goes across the face of goal and 1.0.
Well, they've had chances in this quarter to get up with Carlton, but they've missed them. 10-8 Carlton, 8-10 Hawthorn, 68 plays 58, 10 points the difference. There's Gary Buckenara. He is the only player with a black armband on, so there must be a personal reason for that. We don't know what it is, as we see Curly Austin bring it towards Perovic, who flies, and that's the Val Perovic of old. As up he went and took a 1-grab screamer at half-back.
See what he can do. Here it is again in replay. Down towards the wing now. Carlton go into attack once again. But again, McKenzie has the ball well fisted away by Byrne.
Yes, well, Byrne has been playing exceptionally well. The other player that has played well and hasn't had much is young Flintoff. Flintoff's been on Marcoux, and that is the reason why Marcoux hasn't been playing terribly well.
Here's the throw-in. And the same procedure will take place again. Well, I noticed that McBurn also wearing an armband on the left arm.
So it's only a couple of the Hawthorn players that got them. I'd say most haven't. As we see Byrne bring it towards half-back. Robertson, English, has been a good player in this quarter as he goes for the long kick. Ralph ducks back. Oh, good mark. Had his name written all over. It'll be a 15-metre penalty, which will take him right onto the line. And this will be a soda. Or have a look at this in replay. Read it beautifully, Don, didn't he?
He kept his eye on the ball the whole time, and there Byrne just coming in, giving him the elbow behind the ear. If you're going to do that, you've got to make them count, don't you, Peter?
Well, it's a chance to make the margin 16 points. He's done it. 11-8. Plays 8-10 on the 7 Sports scoreboard.
Well, Warren Ralph has been an outstanding player today. He's played in front, he's led for the ball, he's got back and gone for his marks, and well, that's how he can play the game, Warren Ralph, and he's made the difference. Having a forward firing like that up there has made a big difference to this game. As we see Marcoux, there's Flintoff, his shadow, grabbed him when he didn't have the ball, but I agree with Don. Flintoff done an excellent job picking up Marcoux today, as we see. So Desmar's given a lot of thought to this game. Byrne onto Mackenzie and Flintoff on the Marcoux. There's Marcassani off the ground. He's just come back on the ground, Frank Marcassani, in place of Millen Hanna, and he kicked that off the ground and threw for a point.
Hawthorn have gone for a little more speed on the forward line. McGrath's off, who hasn't had a good game, and Patrick Bailey's come on.
Well, there's Morrissey, thumped away. Back it comes to Alex Marcoux. Look at the pace of Marcoux, but he can't keep the ball in, and he is forced to the line and over the line. Half forward flank for Carlton. They're looking very, very good in this quarter. Their number 52 is Neil Gagan, who's been, in my opinion, their best player. He and Warren Ralph up towards Ralph. Oh, this is bounce and the wrong side of the post and through for 1 point. But Carlton, Don, getting right on top.
Well, they are now. It's not a question. I mentioned earlier, legs. Legs is usually a case of fitness, but this is not the case. It's just a case of class, and the Hawthorn players are trying desperately hard. 3
goals the difference in favour of Carlton. English he's been a very good player and almost took that mark. Considine can't get away with it. There's Muller getting it into Robertson. Shane Robertson. Hand passes back to Nixon. Nixon to Perovic. Touch of the fumbles by Val. In goes Nixon to lend a hand again. But the ball will be bounced on centre wing, with the scoreboard showing Carlton 11-10, leading Hawthorn 8-10.
But the game, the way it's played, Peter, it's only 3 goals, and Hawthorn could get a run on and be right back in it.
Here's the bounce. The hurried kick by Shane Robertson. Kicked a goal earlier on in this term. Straight up and down. So he has another go. Longer this time. Fisted away. Mackenzie is there. Ralph does well. Gets the handball clear. Here's an opportunity now for Burke. Onto the left foot he goes. The bounce, will it come round? Morrissey is there. With him is Marcassani. Turns around, swings at goal and puts it through. So Frank Marcassani spending a considerable amount of time on the interchange bench, coming off it and posting the Blues' 12th goal, and here's how he did it.
Well, there's Rowan Burke swinging onto the left foot, and Morrissey just didn't get the run of the ball, and it really wasn't. I think the umpire was right there. He did push him in the side.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was clever play by Marcassani. He just gave him a little nudge to put him off balance, get the ball on his side, and then hook it through. So, well, he's been off the ground for a while. I don't think they were pleased the way he was going. Now, Colin Kinnear, the coach, Desmar, of course, coaching Hawthorn. Now, this player's come right into the game. Shane Robertson, half forward. It's grabbed there by Burke. Burke to Marcassani. Can't take the mark. Oh, good use of the body there. It's grabbed by Neil Gagan. Onto the left foot he goes. Tries to hook it back, but puts it out of bounds on the full. But, gee, he hasn't let them down today. He's been a great player.
19 kicks, Peter.
Well, I'm not surprised, but not only has he had 19 kicks, he's done a lot of heavy shepherding and
goes and gets the ball, doesn't he?
Does he ever? And, well, in my opinion, he's the best man on the ground. This player has had an outstanding quarter. There's English. 7 kicks this quarter. And, well, he's made a big difference since being moved to the forward line in that second quarter.
English. The right foot floating punt. Oh, it's going to drop short. Who's waiting down? Shine was there, couldn't take it. The hurried kick is by Robertson back towards the half back line. Nixon unable to take the mark, fisted forward by Sullivan. English was there once again, but it's Sullivan who's followed play down and will sneak over centre wing now with one bounce. Marku giving chase, but he's too quick. Knights takes it and can kick into a vacant square at the moment if he lets fly with one. He does, a spiralling torpedo punt kick, but it's off target and 1 point only goes on the ball. Well, they want a couple of quick goals, the Hawks.
But what they've got to do, see, Peter Knight's led from about 30 metres out and end up getting it about 60 metres out. You've got to lead from the goal square and try and get it within kicking distance. That's what they're not doing enough of. As we see Paul Considine take this mark, a good mark over the top of Mick Kennedy. He brings it towards Knights, who flies from the centre of the pack. He had first grab. That's a mark. Gee, I thought he had first grab and second grab.
Well, he's given it to him.
Free kick.
I wonder if that's the evener, Peter.
I'd love to have a look at that in replay. Have a look, see if it's a mark. Actually, you're right. You could have paid it. I wasn't so sure in the replay, though. I thought definitely the first time, but...
I thought he got his hands to it, tried to pat it down. And,
well, it doesn't matter now. He's got the free kick in the same spot. Right in front. He's kicked one. He stabs at this one. And I think it's a goal. It is.
Well, it's a much-needed goal by Hawthorn. That's Knight's second goal, and they need a number of others. Scored 12-10, 80. Carlton going ahead. Hawthorn 9-11, 65. We'll just see here on replay as Considine shoots a high ball up. Knights, you can see Knights with the blonde hair there, pushes the opponent out. Actually, he did get his hands to the ball first, I think. Yeah.
So Peter Knights now with 2 goals to his credit. The Hawks only want a couple more, and they're right back in business for what should be a great last quarter of grand final footy. Here's the centre bounce, and another infringement out of the square. It's going to go against Carlton. Well, this is their chance.
Bad, isn't it? I think that would really annoy coaches, I would feel.
Dear, dangerous time of the quarter. Knights gets in front, couldn't take the mark. Now the Carlton defence, led by Kenny, try to clear it out. Caught underneath and pinged for holding the ball was Shane Robertson.
The umpire was signaling...
Rick Kennedy.
Well, the umpire was saying, umpire Hallett, that he made no attempt to get it out. And they've been very consistent on that today, that if you lie on top of the ball, you've got to make an attempt to knock the ball out. And that's good umpiring to be so consistent. Now, Malaxos is probably too far out, I think, Sandy, too. He should be able to put it up to the high flyers here. Yes, he won't make the distance. Now, let's see who can take the mark. Perovic was in front. Strong Carlton defence. Now there is Abbott now going in after it. Right into a brick wall. Buccanara gets it out to Considine, who has a flying shot on the left foot, but puts it through for 1 point.
4 minutes of time on play. 12-10 plays 9-12, favouring the Blues. Short to Nixon. Nixon finding Gagan. Here's kick number 20 coming up. And look at the depth he gets into his kicks as well. Down towards Muller. Waiting down is Burke. Burke firing up towards Mackenzie on the half-forward line. Can he pick it up? He tries to tap it back. Cleverly does so too. Good support down towards Howard. Mishandling there, but he's able to recover. Keeps the ball in play. Gets a kick away down towards the half-back line. Rocket Rodney Eade has snuck away to take that mark. Drift play up towards the wing, but there's the siren. It's 3/4 time in the Army Reserve Cup. And it's set for a big last quarter with Carlton 12-10, 82, leading Hawthorn 9-12, 66. Trap gets clear, gets a hurried kick down towards James Bennett. The bounce is not good for him. English steals it, goes high over his shoulder towards Muller. He can't take the mark, could have almost given away the free kick, and in fact has. So James Morrissey to the half-forward line. No mark taken by Buccanara. That was his target. Well played by Kenny. He's had a pretty good game too. Muller will fly from behind, unable to take the mark. Curran the opportunity now for the Hawks. Gets caught and well and truly caught. Misunderstanding there between Morrissey and Deere. Marku gets caught, pinged, holding the ball.
They didn't give Marku much of a chance then, the umpires.
Had a quiet first half, but it's come into it in the 3rd quarter as Curran goes out towards Eade, who goes longer to Buccanara, used the body beautifully, and then took a great mark.
You called it, Sandy. That was great use of the body. He nudged his opponent under there, and he must have quite a lot of strength for his size, because he did hold Kenny out. And Kenny has been a good player, but obviously that's the way he prefers to lead his players under the ball and then duck back.
A chance to make the margin, only 10 points. Let's see what he can do with the drop punt. Looks pretty good off the boot. It's all clear. They're back in business, the Hawks.
Well, Hawthorn really did need that particular goal. They started well. Deere got the first hit out down to Sullivan, but I thought it was an insipid effort by Bennett. And here's Eade looking for Buckenara, and Buckenara has played an exceptional game today. An exceptional game. I suppose he'd be rivaled by Gagan, who's probably the best on the ground.
Well, that was a clever little nudge out there. A beautiful camera shot, the close-up one of that, and you can see Gary Buckenara's great experience and ability to nudge his opponent under it. As we see Morrissey gets it down towards half-forward. Gagan nearly lost that one. He has lost it now as Flintoff nearly copped one. Play on, said the umpire, as Abbott off the side of the boot. Robertson knocks it away. Michael Gertz has got it. Can the Hawks come back? They're only 10 points behind at the moment. The next goal is vital to this game, as we see Rodney Eade, a beautiful hand pass out to Malaxos. Malaxos kicks it high. Buckenara! Oh, boy, what about that for a mark? Gary Buckenara's got the ride. Had his name written all over it. Have a look at this in replay.
I was just touch of class. He's not bad, this fellow.
Going for goal number 6. He's got it. And back comes Hawthorn.
Well, that is the best mark we have seen ever in the Armour Reserve, ever.
Yes,
and that's
I'd
a big
say so.
statement to make, but that was a classic. And look at it here. He's been doing it all day, and he really did get the ride. Kenny did the right thing. He played him in front, and that was a real pressure kick.
Of course, the question will arise, should he have been played in the first? You know, well, we'll only know at the end of the day, of course. But, well, he's looked all right today. And
well, he has, but he's not quick enough,
game.
Peter. Let's not play, you know, we can't elude ourselves with that problem.
Centre bounce once again. Now let's see who takes it out of the middle this time. They're running hot. James Bennett gets the handball away. It's taken by Chris Whitman. Whitman's kick down towards Knights. But as you can hear, the desk being thumped by Don Scott. It was Curly Austin who used the body well. Out wide to Gagan. Long to Burke. Burke's almost up to the wing. Chasing him is Rodney Eade, but he gets his kick in time. Out towards English. Close to the boundary line and sees it over the line.
It's a frustrating thing when players further up the ground, and Knights really, I believe, could have made a better fist of that.
Throw in, 4-minute mark, final term, 4 points in it, favouring Carlton. Byrne gets the handball away. Now here's a chance for Michael Gertz, receives on centre wing, gets a hurried long kick down towards Bailey. But it goes over the line. It was too wide, out of bounds on the full, so Mario Bortolotto will take the kick.
Yes, Bortolotto on half-back flank. Terrific game we got on our hands now with 4 points the difference in favour of the Blues. 82 plays 78 when it looked like Carlton were going to run away with it. Hawthorn have fought back as we see Greg Deere. Oh, Gagan almost took the mark. Here we see James Bennett. Oh, Buckenara. Sullivan, Knights, goal! Hawthorn hit the front by 2 points.
Is he going to get another kick? No, it's a goal.
Actually, football's a funny game. I was just thinking, what can Hawthorn do? And the thing I thought was take James Bennett off the ground, but as soon as you think this, he initiated the play. It was good play by Bennett, number 18. Across again to that Buckenara, and Buckenara is Sullivan, and Sullivan to Knights.
Could this be an omen for what's to follow? Peter Knights has 3 goals. Gary Buckenara 6. From the centre bounce, Howell wins it, but they've had trouble taking it out of the middle. A hurried kick gathers no distance at all. Past Marcasani it goes. Sullivan lost it. Holds it underneath himself. And the umpire comes in and decides upon a bounce. What a thriller. Hawthorn leading by 2 points.
What would you do in Carlton's situation now, Peter?
Well, I think some of their players have got to really go in and get the hard ball, because they're leaving it to too few at the moment. Hawthorn want the ball a lot more.
You wouldn't employ the old Collingwood tactic?
Oh, I'd like to know what that is. We'll ask her in a moment what it is. Here's Greg Deere, centre of the ground. He kicks wide. He's looking for Bennett. James Bennett. Outstretched hands. He's marked it as Don wanted him up the ground, and Bennett's playing well. Buckenara! Oh, boy! What about that back for another mark as Buckenara set his sights on it. Up he went for another screamer. Have a look at this.
Oh, as Rod Stewart said, a picture tells 1,000 stories. That was magnificent. Here he is lining up.
Well, he is winning this
goal.
game off his own boot at the moment. He has kicked 6 goals already. This will be 7 if he kicks it. Yes, it's a goal. And the Hawks move further in front.
You've got a whole weekend.
Hawthorn leading by 12 points, and they go into attack again, down to the half-forward line. Out comes Knights. Can't take... Has he got it? He's got it. Well, he may have lost it, but he's obviously juggled it. Let's have a look at it.
There's the mark. He does hold it. But Rowan Burke, number 19 there, has gone down to pick up Buckenara. He went straight.
That was a magnificent mark. Don't just gloss over it. That was a magnificent mark.
Oh, I don't know whether it was magnificent.
It was.
Did
you see the way he butted up?
It was a good mark.
Let's see what he can do, gentlemen. Here's the kick. Floating a punt kick across the face of goal. And 1 point only. Well, Gary Buckenara has turned defeat into what at the moment appears to be victory for the Hawks.
Well, Rowan Burke, number 19, has gone down on him. As soon as he ran onto him, he ran straight into Buckenara. There he is, and Buckenara grabbed him by the hair as if to say, well, listen, son, you're going to have to do a bit better than that if you're going to beat me. As we see Peter Knight starting to come good with a great mark out on the half-forward line. Now, I wonder if he's been switched from full forward as he kicks it towards the pocket. Who's there? Abbott has it punched away. Ricky Nixon. Oh, Carlton under all sorts of pressure at the moment. Hawthorn have really lifted their rating. Carlton were doing it easily in that third quarter. And, well, everyone thought, how far Carlton? But the Hawks have hit back, and Buckenara has been sensational.
We played just over 8.5 minutes of this final turn. There's still plenty of time left for either side. Howe and eventually over the line. 82 plays 91. 9 points the margin. Howe takes it out of the air, gets a hurried kick. Who's underneath it? Oh! Standing his ground was Steve Malaxos.
Was that courageous or what?
And we've seen a couple of courageous efforts here.
But isn't it funny?
Burke and Buckenara at the moment, keeping a close eye on one another. Malaxos is going to have a shot. He's going to go deep into the square. Let's see what he can do. He's not a long kick of a football. Centres it. Howell comes over the top with a mighty fist. Taken by James Bennett. Throws it out the back door. The hurried snap is by Abbott. I think he's kicked it. The big fella's kicked it. Oh, they're running hot. 14-13. Carlton have stopped on 12-10. That's exactly what they were at three-quarter time.
Well, things certainly work your way when the ball's running for you. And we see it on replay. Bennett gets it out, and Abbott screws it back over his head for his left foot.
And, of course, Don Scott, if it was coaching, would have taken Bennett off.
I would have taken him off earlier than that, Peter.
And he's, well, you never know with football. Players can really lift all of a sudden. Here comes Bennett again. Oh, Buckenara beautifully to Bennett. Into the open goal. He wanted the handball, but he elects to have a kick instead and slams it through. What great play, Buckenara again. Oh, boy, let's have a look at that. Let's hope we can see that in replay again, because for Buckenara, you watch this from the centre bounce, Don.
Well, it started by young Whitman there. Gets the left foot out, and Bennett ran past Buckenara. Terrific play. Bennett was in two minds here whether to put it over to Knights, but Knights told him to kick the goal, and that was well done, and Hawthorn are hot. Well,
this is a magnificent exhibition. There's Rowan Burke, as we see, back to the centre of the ground. What's happening now?
New ball, Peter.
New ball, and 12-10, plays 15-13. Carlton, 3 goals, 3 behind. Well, who would have thought this at three-quarter time? 82 plays 103. We've been playing just over 11 minutes into this final quarter. It's been a great performance by Hawthorn in this final quarter. Buckenara, we saw those great marks. We've seen the tap-ons, a lovely hand pass. He's winning the game off his own boot. As we see Marcoux, maybe Carlton can fight back. Alex Marcoux, open goal. Warren Rolfe hasn't seen much of the football in this quarter. They haven't been able to get it down to him. And the ball beats him over the line and out of bounds. There he is, Warren. He's been an excellent player. There's the Hawthorn bench. The man with the phone is Desmar, the champion wingman of days gone by. he would be delighted with this performance by the Hawks. Well, forward pocket for Carlton. They badly want a couple of quick goals because at the moment, Hawthorn are well on top. Byrne. Grabbed there by Shine. Back towards full forward. Morrissey. A mark. Over to Gertz. Gertz has got Malaxos. He elects to go for the kick instead. Bailey against Bortolotto. Now Bailey, if he gets clear, he would have had too much pace, but Bortolotto hung on to him, and the free kick will come back to half-back flank where the free kick will be taken by young Patrick Bailey.
Bortolotto didn't have much chance there, Peter. I mean, he had to give that free kick away because he was gone. There was an open space in front.
Centre wing area. There's Patrick Bailey, number 33. Started today on interchange. Scoreboard, Carlton 12-10. Hawthorn 15-13. 3 goals, 3 the difference. And Hawthorn were one of the few sides to defeat Carlton in a home and away game this year, of course, and they look like they might do it in the important one of the year.
Still on the outer side of the ground, but still plenty of time left. We're in the 13th minute. Here's the bounce. Hawthorn coming home full of steam. That kick wide, out of bounds on the full, so the Blues will get another opportunity. But they need everyone they can get at the moment. It's Mario Bortolotto from the half-back line going up towards the right half-forward flank. No mark is taken. Whitman goes over the top and gives away a free kick, and it will be taken by Shine. He drifts play in towards the pocket. And a good mark taken by Morrissey. All plays on straight away. Hawthorn really looking the goods at the moment as he comes steaming out from the back pocket, almost down to the centre. Kicks towards Buckenara. Beaten on this occasion. Bortolotto's handball goes astray to Abbott. Abbott across to Bennett. Bennett fires in towards goal and puts through another one. And that could be the seal. Once again, 109 plays 82. 14 and a half minutes played. From the centre bounce, Carlton want goals and want them desperately. What a fighting effort it's been by the Hawks in this last term.
Yes, a magnificent performance by Hawthorn. I don't think at three-quarter time anyone gave them really much hope of beating the Carlton side, who are getting well on top. There's Mick Kennedy down towards half-forward. The mark has been taken down there. Playing on is Whitman. Whitman up towards half-forward, where the mark has been taken by Abbott. Abbott breaks away. Short pass towards the pocket. Patrick Bailey. He breaks away now onto the left foot. He fires at the goals and hooks it and out of bounds on the full.
The move of Abbott up onto the forward line and Curran to, well, it's more or less just a change over centre half back, centre half forward has definitely had an influence, Peter.
Yes, and here's Rowan Burke on screen. Bringing it towards the half-back line. Greg Deere.
Should have punched it.
Deere towards the pocket. Bailey, young Patrick Bailey. Over the back is Buckenara. Oh, the ball shoveled out to Buckenara. Is this goal number 8? He fires. Yes, what a performance. 8 goals to Gary Buckenara. Oh, boy, I think he's telling those senior selectors, you should have picked me.
Well, Buckenara has kicked 4 goals in this quarter, and again, Deere across. Young Bailey, Patrick Bailey didn't follow it up well by Sullivan. Sullivan, who definitely is a grafter and does get underneath the packs, and shot the handball out to Buckenara, and that's his 4th goal for the quarter and his 8th for the game.
And give a rap too. I think I agree with you there. The young Sullivan, he's been doing a lot of heavy work today, Don, especially early when the game can be made or broken in that early part of the game.
The chance for the Blues to go forward now, down towards their spearhead in Warren Ralph, and he takes the mark. But they've got a long, long way to go. Although Ralph has kicked 5. The Blues trail by more than 5. Here's Ralph with an easy approach, with that one drifting off the side of the boot, and 1 point only. So everything going right for the Hawks, not a lot going correctly for the Blues. Howard back into play, ball to ground once, getting maximum distance. Marcasani trying to effect the spoil over the top. kicking under pressure was David Flintoff, and that ball goes out of bounds for the full.
Well, Flintoff certainly done his job today. He has played on Alex Marcoux. You would think under these conditions Marcoux would be a dominant player, Don.
The other stopper too, I think you've got to mention Byrne on Mackenzie. I haven't seen Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, they've relied entirely on Ralph. They had 2 kicks, Warren Mackenzie. Well, they would have thought he'd nearly be the match winner today. I think as we see Michael Gertz get it back to David Sullivan. It's in the centre of the ground. Oh, Carlton desperately trying to get it out. Oh, Rodney Eade just takes it away. Over to Considine. Considine on the left foot, up towards halfway. Now here's James Bennett. He's had a brilliant quarter. He knocks it on. He's on the... Oh, Bacadara's calling for it. He ducks back. Wasn't a good kick, but the bounce should favour Curly Austin. There's Bacadara in there again. Oh, tunnel balled out. In they go after it in that forward pocket. Paul Considine is on the bottom of the pack, and the bounce will take place.
There is a tide, but no doubt pretty happy. Paul Considine wearing the number 36 Guernsey for the Hawks. It's in their attacking zone once again. Abbott and Mackenzie. The hurried kick for Carlton was by Kennedy. No mark taken. Waiting at the back is Big Mick Byrne. Goes long. Peter Knight's the target. Coming over the top trying to spoil was Austin. Unsuccessful. Knight's onto the right boot. He fires. I reckon he's goal. He has.
Stretch out to
21 steaming all over Carlton. 12-11-83 from the centre bounce once again. The Blues desperate to go into offence, but they're going to be beaten by time now. Here's an opportunity for Shine. He could have a shot here with a left foot drop punt. Goes into full forward and posts one. But it's all too late, even though we're only at the 19.5-minute mark. They trail by 5 goals to 18-13 to 13-11.
Well, that really didn't deserve it. Should have received more recognition. Robson gets it out. And Shine, this was a good kick by Shine because he's on his wrong foot and he's quite a way out on an angle. He looked there, saw Ralph was well out from goal, then decided to kick it himself, and that was a good goal.
89 plays 121. 32 points the margin. And light rain is starting to fall here at the MCG. Light rain falling. Malaxos wins it out of the centre down towards Bailey, and he takes it in front of English. Going short, just chipping up towards that right half forward line because Considine had drifted down into the flank. Now Buckenara saying head goalwards. And that's what he's going to do. We've got Buckenara and Burke up there in the square, using the torpedo punt kick. It's high. Not a bad looking kick either, but just off target. 1.0.
Well, if you're halfway through that third quarter, I thought that Hawthorn just didn't have the class of the Carlton side.
Right. And, well, don't ever ask us to predict again, because you would have sworn halfway through that third quarter, as Don said, that Carlton were going to go on and win it. But this has been a top performance. There's Curran slipping over. A really top performance by the Hawthorn side. It's been a real team effort as we see Alex Marcoux keep it in play, hooks it back towards the wing area. Michael Byrne, beautiful use of the body and duck back to take the mark. And he's played a very disciplined game on Warren Mackenzie today as he kicks it towards the pocket. Up they go. It's knocked away from Muller into the hands of Marcoux. Marcoux up towards half forward. Morrissey flew. Over the back is Colin Robertson. Great pace as he gets away. Goes for the short one towards the centre of the ground. He finds Patrick Bailey. Bailey across to Greg Deere. Deere breaks away. He's been a good player in this quarter also. Up towards the forward pocket. Here's Sullivan. David Sullivan on the left foot. Hooks it back towards the pocket. The ball bounces. Hartney's there. He's got it. Oh, the Carlton players look very tired as Hartney brings it out towards the half-back line where we see Michael Gertz run the ball over the line.
Almost 22 minutes played, final term, and the Hawks looking to make it 2 in a row have certainly got this one parcelled up. What a marvellous result it would be for the club if they could take not only the reserves but also the seniors. But there's a team called Essendon that's going to have a say in the seniors. Carlton now on the half-back line are put forward by Kenny up towards the half-forward flank. Ralph under plenty of pressure, couldn't take it. Malaxos is clear. Punts it back towards the wing. Buckenara gets taken out of it. Illegal shepherding, said the umpire. And Gary Buckenara.
Well, Burke just took his eye off the ball then and ran straight at Buckenara. And although Muller took the mark, infringement against Burke.
Here's the kick. Not well direct on that occasion. The torpedo just spiralling straight down into that position. And once again, Carlton are able to drift it back towards the wing. Curran is there, however. Back to Buckenara again. Just chips in towards half forward. He had two players there, Considine or Whitman, and picked Considine.
That's a sign of real football ability, the way he was able to control that
he's
kick
quick
with
in the head, isn't he, Peter?
A real little chip shot. He certainly is. Here's Knights in front, hipped out. Curly Austin goes in. I would say for certain this would be his last game for Carlton. Rod Austin, he's been a tremendous player. Congratulations to Rod on a tremendous career, as we see Ian Muller on half-back flank. Bring it towards half-forward. Hannah caught behind, and he's played a good quarter, Morrissey. He's taken a couple of lovely marks. He's got 15 metres here too. Peter Carey is the umpire. Morrissey towards half-forward. Perovic has the ball knocked away. Des English is there. Hand pass to Nixon. Nixon on the left foot. Greg Deere sets himself. Can't take the mark. Hannah was there. I think he was grabbed, Millen Hannah. He was. Oh! He must have played the advantage as he gives it to Marcus Arney. He goes to Ralph. Ralph marks. Bang! Goal. And is that number 6? Goal number 6 to Warren Ralph.
Well, Warren Ralph definitely is their focal point up forward, and he is a good player, and that was evidenced again by the way that he kicked that. He dropped that across his boot, and he was running it, and here it is on replay. We'll see it all here. As Marcus Arney kicked long, and Ralph, not that far out from goal, twisted, put the ball across his boot, check side kick, as Sandy would say.
It was a great camera shot, that head-on shot there, and a little check side kick as he put it through for a goal. But he's played a terrific game, Warren Ralph, down the other end. They haven't been able to get it to him enough in this quarter. He's capitalised up forward. He's been easily their best forward, and especially with Warren McKenzie down today, they've needed him. Robertson on the left foot, up towards half forward. There's Gertz, has it knocked away. Oh, here they come, the Hawks. They're running in droves as we see Eade go to the boundary line. Bailey was there, but they couldn't keep it in play. And at the 25-minute mark of this final quarter, Hawthorn lead 18-14 to Carlton 14-11.
Throw in. As though we could be in for a couple of very light showers. Certainly no heavy rain. Down towards Ralph again. Can't quite take it at the first grab. Claimed by Howard. And they're starting to work in a line now as Byrne drifts it back into the centre, and the mark taken for Hawthorn by Considine. Well, it's been a great team effort, particularly in this last quarter by Hawthorn. Although it's been capped off up forward by Buckenara and Knights. This is Sullivan. Down towards full forward once again, and now Abbott gets in the act. Well, they're coming from everywhere.
They're all firing.
He has kicked one goal.
Very good overhead, Paul Abbott. Very, very good mark, and took a ripper mark just a moment ago for a goal. And well, let's see what he can do with this one. But they've had a terrific quarter. He's offline and through for 1 point. But it's not going to matter much at this stage, because we've been playing just over 26 minutes into this final quarter, and 95 plays, 123 in favour of Hawthorn.
They've had a 9-goal quarter, Peter.
Oh, what fancy doing that in the grand final. And too late now, Ricky. I think they'll be wrestling and having a...
Well, you've only got to point up to the scoreboard, don't you?
Yes, well,
that
look
tells
at the
the
player
story.
on the bottom too.
There's the man. 8 goals to his credit.
What's his stats, Kevin? 8 marks and 15 kicks and 8 goals to Buckenara, Sandy.
Fine performance indeed. There's Abbott again, finishing off the game extremely well. From the half-back line, he gets away from Milan Hannah. In towards the centre, over the head of Gertz it goes. Sullivan was there. Burke couldn't take it. Back with Gertz again. No one able to get it away effectively. Now they're having a bit of a box on.
Gee.
Rhett Baines back on the ground.
They haven't given him much of a go today, Tom.
I'm very disappointed. I think they should have been playing him.
He's hardly had a run at all.
Well, here he is in action now. A solo effort straight to Marcus Arney, who gets his kick down towards the half-forward line. Morrissey almost juggled a one-hander. Abbott. Hannah tries to bottle it up. does so too on that right half forward flank. And we'll see another bounce. 123 plays 95, and a very, very fine win indeed to Hawthorn. Coming up, we're in the 28th minute now. There won't be a great deal of time on. There'll be a bit because we've seen some 11 goals scored for the term, but no injuries or time wasting to speak of. Still in the centre, Hartney puts it out wide. Gertz will be first to it. Marcoux giving chase. Gertz has Malaxos there if he needs him, and he is going to need him. Malaxos keeps it in play, gets the effective handball away to Considine. They've got the loose man on the outer side of the ground there now. And an opportunity for Ellingworth to put them up towards Robertson. His handball was a little too lightning on that occasion. Bennett is there, however. James Bennett steadies, fires in towards full forward. Buckenara getting back on it, and he's not got it.
Oh, he should have
1 point
that
only. Well, 2 grabs.
I thought he had his name written all over it, Don.
Well, the way he's playing, we'll see it on replay here. Actually, it was just hit away by Burke, just on the second attempt there, and actually, had Burke not have hit it, he would have taken it.
I think he stumbled a bit, and that's what cost him the mark, Buckenara, but still he's had a magnificent day.
Good tackle.
Oh, good effort by Michael Byrne to run down his opponent there in Scott Howell. It's Millen Hanna, half forward flank, hand pass over the top to Frank Marcassani. He's got a ton of pace. He'll probably run in the VFL sprint later in the day, I would think, representing Carlton. I think he is their entrant. Frank, there he is. Number 25 has been on and off the ground today. Well, he may not. He was selected, I felt earlier, against Fraser Murphy, but he may not run. I'm told, as we see Howard towards Eade, Rodney Eade towards half forward, where big Rhett Baines has hardly had a sniff of the ball today. He's been sitting on the bench nearly all day as he brings it down towards half forward. Oh, there's a good gutsy mark.
He's
by
played a
Paul
solid
Abbott.
game, hasn't he? Whether it's centre half back, he's now there, or up forward.
Abbott, short, back into the centre once again. Gagan, the only opposition there, doing it almost with his head on that occasion with Shane Robertson. Goes out wide to Ralph. Well, that's what's going wrong with Carlton at the moment. Just about everything. And the Hawks, as you can see, running in numbers. Malaxos goes round the boundary line, fires up towards the half-forward line, but no one at home, and the mark is taken by Rhett Baines. Baines back towards the centre. Shine is there. Takes it now. Looks for the player in Muller out wide. He can steady. Look up towards the half-forward line. Howell the target. Waiting down, an opportunity for Mike Kennedy. Shot in towards full forward. It's swinging back, and Glenn Howard can't get there in time, and it's a goal.
Well, that was a very good goal by young Kennedy then. That's his first goal for the game, but he's been a trier today, you know, more than you can say for a few other Carlton players, and he's tried very hard. He rode the pack well. From Muller, a high kick, Howell, punched away by Morrissey, and well read by Kennedy, as I mentioned before. And that's quite a long kick from us, a fair way out from that position.
Yes, they've had a few disappointments, the Carlton side, I feel. They've left it to too few.
Centre bounce once again. Very close to siren time, and a Hawks premiership in the Army Reserve Cup coming up as Burke gets onto one for Carlton, down towards the half-forward line. Unable to take it was Kenny. Ralph under plenty of pressure, and he tackled well and will get the free kick, persisting, holding the ball being the decision.
You don't give Ralph 15 metres, Sandy.
Well, he has, and he's brought him now to within 35 metres of goal.
Well, he's kicked 6, Warren Ralph. He's done his job, and there's the siren. The Hawks are premiers, but let's see. It's immaterial what he does with it. Let's see if he can kick his 7th. There's the kick. I think he has. Yes, 7 goals. A good effort to Warren Ralph, but Hawthorn are the Army Reserve premiers for 1985. There's the final score. Hawthorn 18-16. 124 have defeated the Blues. 16-12, 108.
And there, as I just saw, an exchange of 2 players over there, Peter Knights and Rod Austin, exchanging Guernseys, and I just wonder whether we'll ever see those 2 particular players. And having played against Rod Austin, he is a very, very hard player to play against, a body player, very fair, and Knightsy, having played with him, well, I've never seen a player do what Knights can do and show the courage, the way he can launch himself into packs, high in the air and come crashing down, yet get up again and do it again. you know, he has been a tremendous player, Knightsy, and I just wonder whether this will be his last game.
Well, this could be, Sandy and Don, this could be a terrific spur for their senior side, of course.
Well, before we go any further, Pete, you're quite right, but let's go down onto the ground, because one of the heroes of the game, and I'm sure he's going to win Don's award, was Gary Buckenara. Peter Donegan's with him now. Pete?
Yes, thanks, Sandy, and Gary just being congratulated by Peter Knights. Gary, a sensational last quarter from the side, and in particular yourself. Had you given up at any stage?